If you've played Fortnite the last couple days, you've probably gotten a message about Arc Raiders, and it gives a big hint into what they have planned for this game. Yes, an extraction shooter is coming to Fortnite. My name's Tofleon. Let's jump into it. Before we go too far into this topic, I want to make sure you understand what an extraction shooter is for those of you who might not know. To put it in the most layman terms possible, the goal is just to go into an area, find the most valuable items, and extract without being killed, and anything you bring in there, you lose. It really is that simple, but it's a formula that has really been able to create more dopamine for those people that seem to have moved on for Battle Royale, but are looking for that next fix. Go on any Reddit forum, go into any comment section, and anyone that plays Tarkov or plays any extraction shooter, they believe their genre is the honest next step in evolution from Battle Royales. And I can't help but think, guys, they're essentially cousins, and sometimes cousins should No. But my point is, they're both very similar in terms of what they're trying to do. They just have a very different way of going about it. Which brings me to my main point. Think of a Battle Royale and extraction shooter. They're both, they're going parallel to each other, but eventually they just, they need to cross and create a new line and come together. And that's what this would be. If you want to talk about the evolution of gaming, wouldn't the next step be to have, instead of players be able to exfil at their leisure, there is only one way to leave the map? But again, that's just one scenario. Editor's note here, when I was working on this video, I came across a project that was either abandoned or started back in 2023 called Project Arnold. And a lot of people believe that this was an extraction mode. If you look at the sequencing, I guess the scripting of it all, the way it was set up, it seems like they were going for something very similar, and it would make sense because back in 2023, that was when you were really starting to see Escape from Tarkov pick up pace, and it really feels like every time Epic notices that another game is starting to become really popular, they dissect it down to its core, figure out what makes that game popular, and then put it in their universe. I mean, in essence, it's brilliant. I'm sure for other studios, absolutely infuriating because they know once they put something out there that Epic's just going to replicate it in their own way, but that is the metaverse. Next, I really just wanted to jump into some really cool ideas, some cool points that really would make this game mode so unique and I think so attractive. Think Grand Theft Auto 5 heist, but over an entire season of Fortnite. Now think about it. Now let me explain. If you've played an extraction shooter, you know just how many insane amount of items there are in a game like this. And the explanation is actually pretty straightforward, as most of these games are set in some level of apocalyptic or just very bad scenario where supplies are limited, so that's why they're valuable. Do you get it? Do you get it? Fortnite is absolutely about creating just insanely intense situations where time is running out, and this would work perfect in one of their like 0 hour or rift situations, right? Like, they could work it in so well. And that brings me to my next point. Over the season, you can work on specific skills, right? Because in a heist in Grand Theft Auto 5, to hire certain people, they had certain skill sets, and people's skill sets determined how easy or difficult the job would be. And you could do that with Fortnite over a season, depending on what you looted, how you looted, just depending on how they set it all up. It could just push you down a different part of the skill tree. We could have a literal skill tree in a Fortnite season. Something I think they could do with a Fortnite Light and Dark Side battle pass with Star Wars, except they just want to keep doing the same thing over and over. Never mind, I'm just yapping right now. And Fortnite would love this though, because it would require you to keep coming back throughout the season to make sure you're keeping your skill sharp or increasing your skill tree, because at the end of the season, you're going to get a chance to do a heist to get some items that you'll never get again. Which brings me to my next point. Think about the insane amount of loot considering the metaverse that Fortnite has, from DC to Marvel to every movie or book you can think of. Think of all the cool items you could extract and use at future dates and the variants of it. I feel like there's it's a titanium mine, a diamond mine. It's just the most valuable you can think of. And if you're wondering, Chris, how could this work in Fortnite? You can never bring a weapon into Fortnite or leave with it. Stop. We've had tents before. Chapter 3, Season 1, tents. They've come back, I think, once before as well, and people loved them. And that same exact method, you could work it in somehow. These people at Epic, they're geniuses. They figured it out. All right, next. They've already created all the pieces they need in previous seasons. Fortnite already has a great looting system. They already have AI bots walking around the map to protect certain areas. They have the perfect built-in lore to their game with exfilling through rifts and coming in on a bus. But most importantly, you gotta give the people what they want. This really does seem to be a trend in this genre, because I think people knowing they can just go in, play however they want, and die immediately with no repercussions, it just doesn't create dopamine. But once you start adding a negative consequence, like losing these items you worked for previously, the dopamine and stress levels go up exponentially. I mean, think about it. Once you enter, there's no getting out. You either die a loser or leave a winner. You either leave a winner or die a loser. And that sounds really cool, at least from a marketing perspective. I feel like that would make for a really cool trailer's ending. Like, come on. For this one, if you know me, if you watch my streams, watch any of my videos, you know I've been waiting for this moment, and this would be the perfect opportunity for Fortnite to introduce first person. But if you know first person shooters right now, Escape is first person and Arc Raiders is third person. They're both extremely addictive, and the fact that you could go back and forth between those in Fortnite would be awesome. And maybe the most important aspect of them all is what makes Arc Raiders so damn popular, so fun, is its atmosphere, the way you feel when you play it, which has probably been one of the biggest reasons people play Fortnite. So just the opportunity to create that exact same feeling in its own genre, its own way, its own style. Think about how many maps we've had and how many parts of those maps were influenced by collabs, and how those collabs could just create the most interesting extracting looting experience we've ever had. Think about just how sick it would be to land on Stark Island as Tony Stark, fight 90 other people to get a limited edition Stark outfit and Iron Man outfit. You laugh, but think about how insane it would go to be able to have certain variations of certain skins that no other person could ever get again. And now you're like, oh wait, that's actually, wow, that'd be sick. Yeah, it would be sick. Be sick, bro. Sick, man. All right, that's enough yapping for today. Let me know in the comments, what are your thoughts? Would you want to see an extraction style season in Fortnite? As always, hit that subscription button. I appreciate you. Go out there and do something great. But before then, let's watch one more video. Let's just pull it together here. Mom, I'm not coming to dinner. I'm watching another Topher video.